Good morning, all of you. My name is Dr. Poonam Singh. I'm the faculty in the School of Finance and Commerce. So today we will be covering about the time series analysis. And in order to cover the time series analysis, prerequisites are there. So prerequisite that there should be the developed knowledge on raw material in relation to its significance. So one should have a knowledge about the raw material significance, that only one would be able to understand about this session. Now further, there are some objectives have been set for this session, and we would be covering the objectives one by one. So the first objective is in order to understand the importance of forecasting. So what actually the significance of forecasting will be understanding, thereby what all common approaches we are having for forecasting, that we will understand, and which is followed by the time series data. So what the time series data is, that we will understand. Further, time series plot. So how do we construct the time series plot, that we will do. Now further, we would be discussing on the time series component. So as we know, there are several components comes under the time series analysis. So we'll be taking up each one of it and understanding it, and in the lastly we'll also see what all objectives of having the time series analysis, that we will try to see. So let's try to see or cover each objective one by one. Now, as long as the importance of forecasting is concerned, see that we really understand every time forecasting plays a vital role. And in order to forecast, let's say there is a government also do the forecasting, and in any organization they also do the forecasting. If I talk about any college or a college administration, they also does that forecasting. And if I talk about any retail store, they also does the forecasting. So each and every organization, whether it's an organization or the economy, they all look forward toward the forecasting. So why that forecasting is being required, the forecasting is being done so that things would be predetermined and it would be easily achieved on. So something like that is a known thing is better than the unknown thing. So here as I gave the example, if the government have to do the forecasting, so that would be in the area of the unemployment, interest rates, expected revenues from income taxes for policy purpose. So idea of doing the forecasting is to do the policy in order to prepare the policy, making the new policies for the economy. Now as in for the marketing executive will be doing the forecasting for the purpose of analyzing about the demand, sales, consumer preferences, and all these things would be done for the purpose of strategic planning. So forecasting will help for the strategic planning of any marketing executive. And if I talk about any college administration, they will also does the forecasting, basically in order to assess the enrollment, to plan for facilities and for the faculty recruitment as well. So how many number of existing faculties are there and how many supposed to be there according to the number of available student in the university. So when it comes to the student, definitely forecasting will be done, and how many faculty will be required in the future, that will again the forecasting will done on this area as well. Now as long as the retail stores are concerned, so retail stores also does the forecasting. Why? So that they would be able to see demand to control inventory level. So we know there are some perishable goods, there are some unperishable goods as well. So the proper forecasting will help out so that the wastage will not happen, right? And also to keep control inventory level, hire employees and provide the training to those employees as well. So how many number of present employees are there in the organization, further how many employees will be required in the future. So depend on the basis of the existing employees, the future employees will be determined, and how many employees will get the training in future, that will also be determined here also. So on a concrete basis we can say forecasting have a lot of scope when it comes to the organization or when it comes to the economy. So the forecasting have a lot of scope to perform. Now further, now we know we have to do the forecasting in the economy. It is required for the economy, it required for the organization as well. So definitely we have some approaches moving toward the forecasting. So what are those approaches? If I talk about the common approaches are basically divided in two parts. One is the quantitative, other one is the qualitative. So forecasting will be having, for the common approach to forecasting, will have qualitative forecasting, and other one would be having the quantitative forecasting method. So initially let's try to understand these two words, the qualitative and the quantitative forecasting. Forecasting we have understood, but the word we need to understand what terminology mean the qualitative and what means by the quantitative. Now quantitative data, it actually is the data or the information about the quantities, and therefore the number and the quality data is descriptive. So actually in quantitative data, it always comes in the quantity and the quantity in terms of numbers, whereas the qualitative comes it more of the descriptive in nature, or we can say subjective in nature, regardless phenomena which can be observed but not measured. So the respective topic or the respective phenomena can only be observed, cannot be measured. So if I give the example of qualitative, it would be, let's say, the language. Language only can be observed, it cannot be measured. Right. So that measured part could be very well taken care in the quantitative, where the things comes in number and it's easy to measure and to calculate. Hence, the qualitative data can be categorized based on the trait and characteristics. So, based on the features of variable, the qualitative data will be analyzed on. And we can also say the qualitative is exploratory in nature, where we usually believe in exploring the things, where the nothing has been available from the existing scenario or historical data, nothing is being available, exploring the new things. So that is all about the qualitative. Now whereas the quantitative is conclusive in nature, so it actually will be predict the future values, and from where it will predict from by the use of present or the past data. So this is the basic difference between the qualitative and the quantitative method which we are carrying for the forecasting purpose. And as I just told you that qualitative has subjective approach and quantitative is objective in approach. Now since we understood these two terminology, qualitative forecasting method, what happened in the qualitative forecasting method and what happened with the quantitative forecasting method. So when it comes to the quantitative forecasting method, it is further being divided in two parts. One is the time series, other one is the causal. Now, the session we are conducting, it is all about the time series analysis, right? It falls under the quantitative forecasting method, right? Now, what you understand by the time series? So time series where you have the data but it is being arranged as per the types, as per the time. So you can take any variable of your interest, but that should be as per the time. It is being arranged as per the time, and as per the arranged as per the time means it could be like yearly, quarterly, annually, half yearly, or hourly, right? It can be calculated, or maybe day wise, so it is calculated that way. Basically arranged as per the time, any variable data can be arranged, will be arranged as per the time. Whereas causal, where the data will be arranged as per the cause and the effect. So one will be independent, other will be the dependent variable in whenever the causal quantitative forecasting method will be used on. Now further, when we talk about the time series data, so we just talked about the time series. It is all about when the data is being arranged as per the series. Series is what? As per the time in an ascending order. Now the data will have the numerical data obtained at regular time interval. So what that regular time interval could be? It could be annually, it could be quarterly, it could be daily, it could be hourly. So this is how the data can be arranged, right? And we can very well see here, there is a very good example has been given for the time series data. So that is being given in the years and the sales. So several years are being given, right? Starting from 2000, 2001, 2, 3 and the 4. and every time the sale is being given. So these are basically the annual sales is being given for each year, right? Since the the sales data is being available for several years, and here we can see for each year the data, the sales data is available. And with the help of this sales figures, we'll be able to analyze how much sale is being done in the previous years by any organization, and with the help of this we can do the forecasting about the future sales of any particular organization. Let's say we have to forecast about the 2005 and the 2006 as well. So depending upon the performance on the previous years, we can very well predict about the 2005 figures as well as about the 2006 sales values of any organization. So if I talk in the simple terms or as per the defined definition by the Croxton and the Cowden, they have stated a time series is consist of data arrayed chronologically, so arranged in an order, right? As per the definition, it is being the data is being arranged in an order, so that it talks about the time series data. Now let's further time series plot. What happened in a time series plot? So one interested variable arranged in as per the time period. A time series plot is a two-dimensional plot of time series data. So you can very well see that there is the graph is being plotted where one is the vertical axis, other one is the horizontal axis. On the horizontal axis, you can very well see the time period is being given. And since it's an annual time period starting from 1975 and it annually being showed. But what has been showed here? The inflation rate of the US has been showed here as per the year. So how much inflation rate was there in 75, how much rate was there in the 77, how much inflation rate was there in the 79. So this graph actually show how the inflation rate is being performing in past years in the US. So, but very well see that on the vertical axis always comes variable of interest, and on the horizontal axis you can see the time period will come. What will come? The time period will come, and on the vertical axis variable of interest. So that inflation rate can be replaced with, let's say, the employment, let's say the birth rate, let's say the wages. So the variable could be any, since I told that it would be the interested variable upon which you would like to do the time series plotting, right? Now further on, now let's understand better about the time series analysis, how it is being used and what all component the time series is being having one by one. And time series, as I told you, it's all about the series which is any interested variable arranged as per the time. Let's say there is a shop and you have arranged the recreational good monthly data. So you, let's say you have big amount of data. So software will be used in order to analyze the fluctuation in the performance of recreational good monthly wise, and that will help out for forecasting. So as I told you, the monthly data available of recreational good of any shop, you can see so much variation is being coming, and that data can be arranged monthly, weekly, your day wise, your time wise, right, as per the hour. So this can be done. Now there are other examples of time series as well. Let's say the temperature, that also can be arranged as per the time. Let's say there is the petrol price, that also can be arranged as per the time. Let's say there is ice cream price, again can be arranged as per the time, and prices of house can be arranged as per the time. Further, there are what all components of time series. As we know, there are 4 or 5 component: trend, season, irregularity, cycle, and the variation. So let's understand about the trend. What happened in the trend? The trend is basically for the longer period of time. Over the years, you'll be realize how any interested variable is being performing, increasing, decreasing, or with the fluctuation. Second is with the seasonality. As we know, the summers and the winter. So as the season changes, fluctuation is coming in the data that would be recorded as per the time. Now further you have the cycle. As you have the business cycle, So definitely there will be the boom, there will be the recovery, there will be the recession. So how the cycle will be performing as per the time. Further, there will be the variation. Now, how much variation is being coming over the period of time on the interest rate variable, that will be seen in a 1 year period. Lastly, come irregularity. Irregularity, sudden shocks. Let's say strike happen, or let's say any other sudden thing happens. So it talks about the irregularities. Now let's understand more about the time series component. So here we can see the time series will have four components. One is trend component, seasonal component, cyclical component. We have irregular component as well, and each component have their own pros and cons as per the moving time. So all will be recorded as per the time for sure, but each component have their own features, right? So according to that it will be recorded. Now if I talk about the trend component, it is, as I told you, that it talks about overall persistence and it talks about the long term movement. And if I gave the example here, let's say the steady growth in the population, or the gradual decline in the death rate, or the slow increase in the demand for electronic goods are the example involving the trend component. And this trend component also can be referred as a secular component. I mean, the word can be interchangeably used on. So as I told you, this is for the longer period of time, and any interested variable will be seen for during the longer period of time how it is being performing over the period of time. Whereas the second, it is talking about the season, as the name is justifying the seasonal component. So this seasonal component is regular periodic fluctuation. So every year as the winter, summers, autumn and the spring season used to come, they have the regular periodical fluctuation used to come. Usually it is within a 12-month period. So the seasonal component vary usually within 12-month period. Now, the seasonal factor or force may be natural component. Let's say the weather component, climate change, rainfall, sunlight, or the convention habit, let's say the habit, customers, fashion, marriage, right? So as the season is being changing, the impact on the variable on interested variable will also get changed, because let's say the marriage season, because every time there is the marriage season also occur in every year, which is already defined for certain period of time in the year. And let's say the festival, we have Diwali festival. At that point of time, so much of shopping and so much of uh, decoration, a lot of things used to take place. So something which is already defined as per the nature, right, or as per the periodical calendar, but their existence will be recorded on the time series, because that fluctuation is actually impacting, that fluctuation is being impacting. Now further you have is the cyclical component, right? So for the cyclical component, you will come down with the business cycle. Now cyclical component repeating swings or movement over more than a year. So what happened with the cyclical component? The movement or the swings can be noticed for over more than a year time. So that is what happened with the cyclical component. Now there are outcomes of the business cycle if I determine it as a like the boom period, which is of the prosperity. Then we have the recession, which talks about the downfall of any business cycle. Then the depression has also been there, which talking about the reaching a rock bottom, and further again the recovery picking up again, and again boom period. So the cycle is like, it's like in the form of wave, it is being performed over the period of time, right? So this is how the cyclical component, we arrange the data in the cyclical component. Basically it actually tells how the series is will be fluctuating if the data which you have collected, whether it is as per the trend, whether it is as per the season, whether it is as per the cyclical. So the interested variable can belongs to the season, the interested variable will belongs to the cyclical. So depending upon the component type, the time series will have the impact on this. Right. Now the lastly come the irregular component. What the irregular component is all about. Those irregular component, it talks about the sudden change or something which suddenly happen, which is totally unpredictable. So here we can say the influencing factor are unforeseen and unpredictable. They are generally mixed up with the season and the cyclical fluctuation. So that's where these are being referred irregular, erratic, accidental. So they do not have repetitive tendency. Irregular component does not have the repetitive tendency. They are caused by non-recurring factor. So what could be the non-recurring factor? Let's say strike. Strike never happened periodically or over a period of time. It just happened depending upon the situation. Lockdown, again, it's one of the irregular component. Flood, wars, earthquakes, epidemics, so or a revolution or storms, all are the examples of your irregular component which never happen periodically or which is not being defined. It just all of a sudden happen. That's why that is being also referred as a residual fluctuation, right? So this is how the all four component is all about. Now further, significance of time series. So in the beginning we talked about the forecasting. The time series is can be determined for the time series can be analysis can be used for the forecasting. But as long as the significance or the importance of time series is being concerned, the time series it will have a study of time series throw light on the future economic behavior of a certain variable. So if we are collecting data on certain variable, that will definitely define or will be able to understand in advance about its future behavior of that particular interested variable. The analysis of time series reflects the dynamic pace of movement of phenomena over a period of time. So how that interested variable is going to behave over the period of time, increase, decrease, or maybe negative or strongly positive, right? That could be can be to an extent it will be determined in advance, right, with the help of time series analysis. Now it has an importance and the significance plays in business and economics. It is also helpful in sociologists, biologists, doctors and the workers. So time series is very much important for these professionals, sociologists, biologists, doctors and workers. They use it at maximum, right? Let's say the doctors, they try to see how the patient is being recovering from the disease, and the records are being keeping as per the time, right? The records or the recovery of any patient is being recorded as per the time. So 1 month back this was the situation of the disease, and after a month time what actually the situation of the disease, how much recovery has been done on it, right? So the sociologists, they also talk about the society, how much improvement was there earlier, and how much more progress has been done by the society, right? Now, also it is also of much importance in evaluating the current performance of the data and in comparing the actual performance with the predicted performance. So your self-analysis, organization or the economy can do the self-analysis by comparing their present performance from the previous year's performance. So the current performance can be analyzed and also to contribute that the present performance can be compared with the peer groups as well. So how the peer groups are being performing, that also been taken into account. So comparing the company performance with the peer companies or the company performance with the industry standards, that can be compared on. So time series have a lot of significance in the industry. On the interested variable, always the that data is being collected. If the limited data, manual calculation can take place, but when the data is being huge at that point of time, many a lot of statistical softwares are being there which can be used in order to analyze the time series data, right? In order to cover up this complete session of statistical analysis and which within that the time series we have used these references. And lastly, I would like to thank you all for listening it patiently. Thank you very much.